Okay, we are live. And I'm going to get rid of the chat on screen because it's not working again. No need for it. Okay, can everybody see me and hear me? Are we good to go? Okay, so we're getting started a little bit late. Let's see here. So, get that up on the board here. I am having bitrate issues today. If I have to, I'll switch to YouTube only. It is free agency day one. Hi, Sleepy. It is. Today is the first day of free agency, technically. One. If y'all watch my videos, y'all would know the answer to all this. Raiders released Hunter Renfrow. Colts got Ronnie Harrison back. Ronnie Harrison was not a guy on my list. Bills signed Mac Hollins already. I'm kidding. I'm messing around, Derek. Don't worry about it too much. Don't take it so seriously, people. Nothing to it. Yeah. Depends on the price, Derek. By the way, guys, sorry there's no chat on screen today, but it looks like Streamlabs is not going to cooperate with me, so I have no choice but to roll with it. I don't know, GFGB. I saw that, but I don't know where he's getting that from. Hi, Sleepy. I think we kind of have to. Khalil Mack, he's kind of old. I'm not interested in that unless he's super cheap. And I don't think there's any way he's going to be as cheap as I would need him to be worth my time. Right, so... Oh, Nick Harris was a 5th-round pick. For some reason, I thought he was a 7th-round pick. I read something that indicated that Nick Harris does not affect compensatory picks, so we still have 4, or no, 3, and we'll probably get a 4th when Bobby signs. I think Harris will start, but he fits the scheme really well. I do kind of like Pharaoh Brown, though. We needed a blocking tight end, and it's not a great tight end draft.
Hello,
I don't know very much
everyone.
about Tyus Bowser, but that's the kind of guy that I think we should probably be seeking out for edge depth, because I think it's better than bringing back Darrell Taylor. But that is the kind of thing that I would definitely take a strong look at. And Nick Harris was pretty good last year. What's the best way to support your channel beyond subbing? Patreon? I mean, my general feeling about that is that people can support however they want to, but Patreon's good. Tipping is good. Super chats are fine too. I think I get the biggest cut of tipping, clicking the link in the description, but however people want to support is totally fine by me. Devin White's still out there, yes. I don't want to get into the exact numbers, but I think the smallest cut that gets pulled out of things that I get support from is the tip link. It's pretty close with that in Patreon, though. Is Devin White a fit for Mike Mack? I mean, he's a great athlete. Problem is, he's kind of a... I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs or not. If you can, I'm sorry. But... Hi, Sleepy. Welcome to the membership club. Welcome. Welcome to Elite Channel membership. Welcome aboard. Hi, Sleepy. Or is it his Leapy? Hey, Drop Top. I mean, Sam Howell shouldn't be worth much more than a 7th round pick. He was a 5th round pick to begin with. A cash money killer. Nick Harris did play for the Browns. Yes, South End King. Played about 300 snaps last year. One second, bro. Okay. Did Nick Harris slide to guard? He did play right guard a little bit. He did play right guard last year a little bit with the Browns. A.J. Dillon and the Colts. Man, what are the Cowboys going to do? Are the Cowboys going to do something? This is getting out of hand here with the Cowboys and lack of action. Hey, Kronos. Yeah. Yeah, he played a little bit of fullback. They did use him as an oversized fullback on some snaps, Cash Money. That is true. Which is kind of a fun idea. I don't know how much we'll do it, but it is on the table. MMJ420, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. All of us 12s appreciate what you do, man. Thanks for covering our team so well. Much love. Well, thank you, MMJ. Looks like the notifications aren't working again today, so that's great. So I'm going to have to manually do this. Hi, Sleepy. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Sleepy works fine. Used to be Noctivagant. Oh, I remember that name. Been with you since 3K subs, man. Happy to support Go Hawks. Thank you, Sleepy. All right. Let me get those super chats up on the meters because I'm going to have to do it manually today. Have you ever thought about using a different service for your streams? I mean, I've never had this. I think what happened is because I set up 5 different streams in advance at the same time, it's getting confused. I think what happened is that I set up 5 different streams at the same time on Sunday night. So it's attaching itself to the wrong stream. It's absolutely nuts how many views you get for your channel size. I have noticed that, yeah. Oh, the tips work. Anonymous, thank you for the $10 tip. Good morning, Brendan. What are your thoughts on DJ Dallas departing? He's, to me, extremely replaceable and not somebody that I'm going to really miss all that much. Thank you for the $10 tip. But I'm really happy we didn't keep him. I'd rather go draft somebody. We can get somebody for like 15% of that cost who's going to be about as good. Like DJ Dallas didn't offer anything that you can't find elsewhere pretty easily. Seahawks OG, thank you for the $9.99. Thanks for the great streams. Get Nick Harris is a good start today. Go Hawks. By the way, remember, Nick Harris was coached by Scott Huff at UW. So there's a connection with our new offensive line coach and Nick Harris. That's probably part of the reason why we got him. What do you use to stream? I use Stream Elements. So yeah, the on-screen notification, the on-screen pop-ups look like they're working for tipping, but they're not working for the super chats. So if you guys want the on-screen GIFs, then the best way to do that is to actually tip today. Not everybody can tip, I know that, because of the way it's set up, but something just so you guys are aware. Also, I am having bitrate issues today that I did not have the previous 2 days. Is anybody having any issues with the stream? Are there any like problems that people are having with like the stream loading or how the stream looks or anything like that? Light hiccups? Okay. Jerome Baker is not signed. No. Not to my knowledge. I haven't seen anything yet. Ooh, Patriots might get J.C. Jackson back if anybody can fix him. You think this takes us off picking a guy like JPJ? We probably weren't going to do that anyway. JPJ doesn't really fit the zone blocking scheme that well. Like, did you guys watch the combine? If you guys watch the combine, you noticed how top heavy he is when he's moving. It looks kind of awkward. So I don't know if he was ever really on our radar anyway. Let me get that one up too. Who are the Seahawks most likely to overpay for? I mean, there are only a few people left that they can overpay for, right? Like there's Devin White, I guess. Bordolini is one of the most mobile centers I've ever seen in my life. He is like historically mobile. I don't know how good he'll be, but damn. Can you bring up the tiers? Okay. Julian Blackmon's interesting, by the way. That might be a high target. Where do you see Polk and McMillan being drafted? I think Polk's going to be like a 3rd rounder. McMillan probably a 4th rounder. Super stacked wide receiver draft. I think that pushes them down a little bit. How long was Scott Huff with UW? I want to say he started in like 2016 or 2017. What's the likelihood that they trade for a top player? Pretty low. We don't need DJ Reader anymore. We've got our defensive line pretty much in place. I don't think there's a ton we need to do on the defensive line anymore. Yes, Nick Harris was at UW when Huff was. I think Huff coached him his whole UW career. 49ers got Eric Kendricks. Okay, he's off the board then. So that means the Niners aren't getting Bobby. They got Kendricks. So that means Bobby, I don't know where he ends up. How likely do you think it would be that the Seahawks bring back Diggs on a cheaper 1-year deal? He doesn't really fit the new defense, I don't think. Cowboys have no money, Voodoo. Clear, or they are pretending they don't. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of cuts today, guys. So the list is going to get replenished. Who fits the new defense? Safeties that are versatile. Diggs is kind of a one-trick pony. Isaiah Simmons is really interesting, yeah. I don't know if I would like it or not, but he's a freak athlete, and that might be something that Mike McDonald digs. Best safety in the draft is Tyler Nubbin, all day. Tyler Nubbin's a beast. Bobby to Atlanta? Okay. Doug Stevens, thank you for the $1.99. And any interest in Mac or Bosa, if released or trade? Not Bosa. He always gets hurt. Mac, maybe, but it really depends on the money. I'm not interested unless it's a lot cheaper than I'm expecting. Is YouTube your full-time job? No. Well, right now, at the moment, it is because I'm currently between jobs, Mason. But generally speaking, no. I don't want it to be my full-time job. If it was, then I would start doing a lot of stupid clickbait videos to get views. Is Julian Love fit the new defense? Absolutely. Right, guy. 100%. Because Julian Love had his breakout year with Wink Martindale. And the Wink Martindale defense has a lot in common with what McDonald does. I have no idea about Ryan Neal. He sucked last year. Period. Okay, let's get the top super chat and the top tip on screen. There we go. Justin Simmons, best free safety in the league. Maybe. I would do that, Mitchell. All day. I love Nubbin. Actually, instead of release, let's just say cut. Because it's shorter. Looks better on screen. Don't know the money on Ronnie Harrison yet. Mike Gesicki got $2.5 million. Dang. How far Gesicki has fallen. Is there any way to tip via Apple Pay? I'm not sure, Owen Carter. It might only be credit card, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to cop to that. You like Bowser? I mean, he seems all right, but I have no idea what he's going to cost. Isaiah Simmons didn't play that much with the Giants. He's a phenomenal athlete that hasn't really found himself in the league yet. That's why he's going to be relatively cheap. Rayshawn Jenkins is the play, feels like. Morgan Moses traded to Jets. Maybe he'll do a better job protecting Aaron Rodgers than Dwayne Brown did. You know? Ain't that the goal? No word. Oh, okay, here we go. Jet. Whoa. So the Jets get Moses and a 4th-round pick. The Ravens get a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. So that's pretty good. That's pretty cheap. That's a reasonable cost. That's not bad. Dogzilla Monster, thank you for the $12.12. 1212, love your attitude and knowledge. Well, thank you so much, Dogzilla Monster. That is your new top super chat of the day. Let's get that on the board. There we go. Isaiah Simmons is a free agent, yes. Isaiah Simmons or Julian Blackmon, who would you rather have? Probably Blackmon. I feel like he's more of a sure thing. Simmons could go one way or the other. My question with Eric Armstead is, can he play in a 3-4? Because he was playing the 4-3 in San Fran. And 3-4 requires a little more mobility and lateral quickness, I think, that not everybody has. But I don't know. Maybe he can do it. If so, I'm intrigued. Yeah, Julian Blackmon was a Colt. And they just signed some safeties, so they might be in the market for not having him. So basically, Morgan Moses for a move up in the 4th round and a 6th-round pick. I can dig it. For the Jets, I think that's a pretty good one. Nick Harris, he's an interior offensive lineman. Used to play for the Huskies under our current offensive line coach, Scott Huff. I mean, I guess that's possible, Derek, but that never happens. They gave Moses away for nothing. Is he that bad? I mean, he's not bad. He's just old. I don't think he's bad yet. Whatever happened to Daniel Falele? He's the right tackle on the Ravens now, right? Is he like a bust? Could Harris play left guard? He's never done it before, to my knowledge, but it's possible. I think that he's like a backup center / backup right guard. What position does Daniel Falele play on the Ravens? Is he not the right tackle? Okay, so he's going to take over for Moses, maybe. All right. Yeah, I like Michael Pratt, MMJ. He's intriguing in like the 4th round. Will Olu start then? I think that Olu will start. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to say I love it, but there's nothing wrong with having faith in a 4th round pick or 5th round pick from last year. He's a good player in college. We're going to find out if he's a good player in the pros. I will admit this, though. It kind of bugs me just a little bit that the Seahawks gave more money to Nick Harris than the Eagles gave to Matt Hennessy, because I like Matt Hennessy. Do you think Seattle might be an unappealing destination due to the coaching changes? No, I don't think so. I mean, Jeffrey, I think Devin Bush is just never going to get over his injury. You think Aaron plays the whole year? Probably not. Odds are against it, right? Alex Schuss, thank you for the $4.99. What would be the top 3 moves you'd personally like to see the Hawks make, signing or trade? We need to get a safety. I'll say, okay, let's go with Jordan Fuller. No. I take it back. Justin Simmons, because he got cut, so I don't think we lose a comp pick. So I'm going to say Justin Simmons, Tyrell Dodson, and Clowney. Something like that. That would be the most fun for me. Malik Collins, he's the defensive lineman, right? Yeah, he's a DL. Did we lose a comp pick for signing Harris? No. Unless he meets all of his incentives, he won't be making enough money to count against comp picks. Clowney visiting the Panthers. Well, I mean, I'll give the Panthers credit for trying. I don't think they're trying particularly well. Darius Brown, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I want to see what Mike can do with Isaiah Simmons. I wouldn't be against it, but it's possible that Isaiah Simmons is just a talented guy who can't get his head on straight. And nobody can fix that. But I don't hate the idea at all. All I see from the Nick Harris signing is 1 year 2.5. There are 750,000 in incentives. He could get it up to 3.25. But 2.5 is the base, yes. Just draft James Williams instead of signing Simmons. I don't think James Williams fits this defense. How about James Simmons, man? I think Witherspoon's going to be used in some interesting ways, Chewable Orb. I don't think he'll move to safety, but I do think that he will be playing various roles. Jordan Whitehead's good, Daniel Brown. I like Whitehead, part of that Jets defense that never gives up no matter what. Buda Baker, everyone was telling me he's not available. So I'm going to go with that assumption for now. What did the Niners give up for Malik Collins? Man, Malik Collins is already going to be 29. I forgot he's been in the league that long. Not a bad player, though. Boroquez, punter, Browns, 2 years, $5 million. Do you think we bring Mike Jackson back? I kind of do. Yeah. I think so, Tucker. I could be wrong, but I think so. I think today's the deadline for the restricted free agents. I could be wrong, but I feel like it is. That would just be common sense, right? I would like J.C. Jackson on the Seahawks. I mean, I kind of understand wanting to tank at money 22, but you don't have to be that blatant about it. You're going to get in trouble with the league. Wouldn't Buddha just be a more athletic version of Diggs? He always seemed like more of a traditional safety. I don't necessarily think so. But again, it's moot because it sounds like Baker's still stuck in Arizona for one more year. Wonder how much Simmons costs. I don't think he should cost much more than Kevin Byard. Like Kevin Byard got 2 years, 15. Why should Simmons get more than that? What kind of tight end would you like us to draft? I don't really want us to draft a tight end. Just pick up Culp or Westover in UDFA, man. Culp or Westover in UDFA, reunite him with Grubb, and call it good. Oh my god, people are still talking about Justin Fields. Is Simmons really far better? Bobo's my religion. Like Simmons, people are acting like he's Ed Reed. I don't know if I see that. He is on the wrong side of 30. Yeah, I don't know why we'd get Xavier Howard. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Kenyon Bridges, how much money do you see Curl getting? At this point, I have no idea. I thought he was going to break the bank initially, but that's starting to look less and less likely. I saw DJ Reader was visiting somebody, but I can't remember who it was. Obviously, we don't want him anymore. So if he comes off the board, that would not be a bad thing at all. I think Cameron Curl would fit this defense. Zietler, I don't know. Zietler might just be a pure run blocker. If Bowers is there, then yeah, I'm jumping all over that. But that is so unlikely, I don't even really want to get caught up in that. DJ Reader visiting Titans. Okay. Oh, visiting the Lions. Okay. Niners gave up a 7th for Collins. Well, that's pretty good. I guess Bowser's pretty good, but I think a lot of players look better than they are in that Ravens defense. But part of the reason why that is because of Mike McDonald, who we now have. When will the Niners truly be in cap hell? When they pay Purdy. Dude, I keep getting tagged in posts on Twitter or X about Justin Fields, and it's driving me crazy because all those posts get 8 billion likes, and I get a noti every time it gets liked. It's out of control. What if the Niners release Purdy after next year? Then they buy more time. Would you pay Purdy? I mean, not what he's going to cost. Like, he shouldn't cost more than Kirk Cousins, but he definitely will. Yeah, Texans only got a 7th-round pick for Collins. Good trade by the Niners. Adise, what are you talking about? George Kittle is on the verge of being washed up. He's already been paid. George Kittle's been in the league a long time, Adise. What are you talking about? I think we should just pick up a UDFA tight end to be tight end 3, somebody like Westover. How much do you think Julian Blackmon gets? Something like 216? That would be nice. I would not hate doing that. Ugh, excuse me. Yeah. If Bowers is there, I'm all over that. Bowers is a top 5 player in this draft. IDGAF at that point. All right, let's hope the Seahawks do something today just so the chat pops off. If the Seahawks do something of note over the next 7 hours, not because I just want them to do something because I'm a 3-year-old with no attention span or patience, but because I want the chat to go crazy. Because the chat has been mostly docile the first 2 days. Or maybe they could do something really insignificant. And that would make people freak out because they're mad that we didn't give $8 billion to Patrick Queen or something. Mario Edwards coming back? I don't think so. I think Mike Morris is going to replace Mario Edwards. Hey, Rocky, I think I'm going to go out for... I think I'm going to get something for lunch today. I haven't done that this week yet. And I'm bored of eating at home. Yeah, Chargers are going to clear the deck, but I don't think they're going to release any players that I really want. Like, there's a reason why the Chargers are going to let those players go. It's not just because of cap. It's also because they're not that good. I got 5 guys last week. I'm not going to get 5 guys again. mean, if we're going to be straight up, you know, Five Guys, the price is out of control on Five Guys stuff, you know? So I don't think you can do it that often, especially right now when I'm technically unemployed. I got Subway last week and was pretty unimpressed. Definitely not getting Taco Bell. I'd rather eat a bowl of shredded Parmesan cheese. All right, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta powder my nose. And we are back, everybody. Sorry that took so long. I got a phone call. Eagles, 4 years, Jake Elliott. Interesting. You may be shocked to find out he was not on my list. I think that's an extension, though. I don't think he was a free agent anyway. $24, yeah. He is now tied for highest paid kicker in the league. Little Jordan Humphrey goes back to the Broncos on a 1-year deal. Titans are heavily pursuing Justin Simmons. Did I miss anything? I think maybe I did. No. Okay, we're caught up. Do you like Pot Limit Omaha? I like it, but I don't get a chance to play it pretty much ever because the local casinos don't have it. I do like it though. I played it like twice. Sometimes there's a table going, but it's very rare. Yeah, Hunter Renfrow got cut. I'm wondering if Simmons is going to be super expensive. Maybe it'll be, the cost will be prohibitive. He'll be more expensive than I'm thinking. I don't know why he's supposed to be more expensive than somebody like Bayard, but if he is, I don't know if I can pursue that too aggressively. I don't think there are any Canes in my area. Oh, all right, guys. Artie Burns. Artie Burns returning to the Seahawks on a 1-year deal. That might mean Mike Jackson is gone. Wonder what the money is. Can't be significant. All right, Artie Burns returning to Seattle. So we're keeping one of our own and we're not losing a comp pick. Probably just a couple million. Okay. Let's just go ahead. Oh, Owen Haynes. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Owen Carter, excuse me. Thank you. Welcome to basic membership. Welcome aboard. Kingzo, he's definitely more than a million. He's been in the league for a while. He's definitely more than, he has to be more than a million. What was Artie Burns' last contract? 1.08. So it would probably be around like 1.2, I guess. Probably a little less than 1.2 is the minimum. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. The Seahawks have gone ahead and made a move kind of early in the day today, but not so early that it was before the stream. They actually made a move during the stream. So I appreciate that. Other than Noah Fant, it's the first move that the team actually actively made while I was streaming so far this week. Now, it's not exactly something that's going to get people out of their seats, but it is something, and it's something that is not going to compromise the compensatory picks, and it's something that should not compromise the cap, even though we don't have monetary information on this signing yet. It can't be that much because it's Artie Burns. Cornerback Artie Burns is returning to the Seahawks on a one-year deal per Adam Schefter. And last year he was here on a vetmin deal for just under 1.1 million. So unless we're telling him he's going to play a lot, there's a decent chance that it's probably going to be slightly more than that, like 1.13 or 1.14 million. If it's significantly more than that, then that might be an indicator that we're planning on using him more than people are expecting. But Artie Burns comes back to Seattle. He's been here for a little bit now, and he hasn't played a ton. When he's played, he's been more or less fine. Veteran presence in that backfield. Good to have around. But I think that the more interesting thing about this signing is what it says about the future of somebody like a Mike Jackson, who is a restricted free agent, I think, in the upcoming free agency period. So, with a few hours left before free agency actually opens, we haven't tendered him. And you take a look at the cornerback room in Seattle right now, you've got Rico Wilmer, Devin Witherspoon, now you've got Artie Burns, and you've got Trey Brown, and you've got Kobe Bryant. I don't know if there's room for another cornerback, much less one that's going to cost almost $3 million like Mike Jackson's tender would be. So that's probably the end of Michael Jackson in Seattle, which, I mean, I think that's fine as long as we trust Rico Wilmer. But I wonder about that sometimes. But this is kind of, in some way, you could call it a vote of confidence in Rico Wilmer. So I do like that. I do like that because I want to see the Rico Wilmer experience at least one more year. And I think re-signing a guy like Artie Burns over keeping a guy like Mike Jackson is actually a vote of confidence in a roundabout kind of way. Now, I guess it's always possible that we decide we don't like Kobe Bryant or we're moving Kobe Bryant to another position permanently, and then we could bring back Mike Jackson too. But as of right now, I think we're probably done at corner. Witherspoon, Woolen, Burns, Bryant, and Trey Brown. I think that's probably your cornerback room for the moment. So, Artie Burns back to Seattle. We don't yet know the exact money, but it's a one-year deal. Doubt it's much more than the veteran minimum. I'll put it that way. And if it is a lot more than the vet minimum, I'll make another video where maybe I'm a little bit less excited. But for now, just a nice little depth signing, which is basically what the Seahawks have done so far in free agency. And that's really all there is to say about this one. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just a move that you make that is fine and sensible and just generally makes sense. All right. Going to be streaming for the rest of the day. Come on by. Actual free agency opens up in less than 3 hours. Hope to see you there. All right, I'm back. All right, let me get that video uploaded here real quick. If you don't tender an RFA, do they count in the comp formula? I think so. But I don't know if Mike Jackson would get enough money to count. He might just be like a Vetman Plus type. He might just get... Well, if he gets more than the tender, that it does qualify him, right? It's possible. Depends on what he gets. Mike Jackson didn't play that much in the regular season virus, and when he did play, he was fine. What happened? Harrison Bryant going to Vegas, the tight end? Harrison Bryant's a tight end, right? I think I remember him in the draft. $3.25. Yeah, Harrison Bryant. I remember him a little bit from the draft. Did we lose a comp pick if we signed Bowser? No, because he was cut. I don't think we lose comp picks for players that were cut. One year, $4 million. Burns' contract might be mostly non-guaranteed. Yeah, but he's a veteran, so there's probably got to be some guarantee in there. I have no idea what Bowser's going to get on the open market. That one's really hard to figure because I wasn't thinking about him before because he was under contract. Perhan is an ERFA, Shuby, or an RFA. One, I think he's an ERFA. So if we don't tender him by 1 o'clock, he will be a free agent. And I do think we need to let him go. I think we need to upgrade at that spot because Lucas is so unreliable. I think so, Kronos, but Spotrack might be incorrect. I've never had Waffle House, no. What made me want to start? I saw a lot of people doing it and I thought it looked cool. Onto at right tackle, I mean, that's why you draft him, right? He can provide depth at 2 different tackle positions and start at guard. You be okay with Jenkins? Sure. Yeah, I saw Eric Kendricks to the Niners. So they're probably out on Bobby, right? They can't sign another inside linebacker unless they bring back Owen Burks, which I don't think they're going to be able to. He's good for the moment, Caden J, but he might not be good a couple of games into the season. We have to be prepared for that distinct possibility. There's every reason to believe he's going to have a short career. We can hope otherwise, but I think we should prepare for the alternative. And it's almost 10:30. We only have 400 people in here. Kind of weird. You would think that people would be more interested now that free agency's actually started, but today is much slower than the last 2 days. The Cowboys have interest in bringing back Zeke. I thought Zeke re-upped with the Patriots already. Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State. Doesn't he have big injury red flags? I like everything else about him. I do like him, but to my knowledge, big injury red flags. Yeah, Evan Neal, I think, is already basically a bust. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't give up on him. Wish list with the current players in free agency. I got. I mean, Justin Simmons is probably the most interesting guy left. Julian Blackman, Jordan Whitehead, Jordan Fuller, Kevon Wallace are on the list. Devondre Campbell, Tyrell Dodson, Troy Reader, Jerome Baker, Isaiah Simmons, I guess Devin White. All's hot chicken in Tacoma? No. I think I'm having chicken tonight, so I don't want to have chicken for lunch. I need to do, I don't know, maybe I should do like a sandwich, but I don't know from where. I feel like I've had too much deli meat lately. I do like Firehouse. I don't know if I want to have a meatball sub, though. Pretty heavy. I think Buda Baker is stuck in Arizona for now. Firehouse has meatball subs, but they're definitely not $5. I love the meatball sub. They're $5 today. I'm pretty sure they'd lose significant money on $5 meatball subs. I don't see anything about a $5 meatball sub. I see a chicken parmesan meatball sub, which is interesting, but app only? Oh. I think I do have the app. I'm not getting Subway. Mike Pennell, 1 year deal. Chiefs. I don't know who Mike Pennell is. Who is Mike Pennell? Oh, a defensive lineman. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. We got ourselves a monster super chat. John Stillwell, thank you for the $50 super chat. That is the biggest by far of the day. 17K not far away. Thank you so much, John Stillwell. And yeah, we might get there by the end of the week if this keeps up, man. I don't know if we will, but there's a distinct possibility that we get there by the end of the week. Okay, I just logged into my Firehouse app. I don't see anything about a $5 meatball sub, but I'll check when the place is actually open in 3 minutes, because right now they haven't opened yet. But thank you so much, John Stillwell. You are now on the leaderboard. Yeah, I've watched The Water Boy. Was Evan Neal the pick the Giants got from Bears? I think so. I think so, yeah, because they got Thibodeau with their native pick. Panthers tender Raheem Blackshear. Ooh. Seahawks have their first confirmed top 30 visit with a draft pick, everybody. Not free agency news, but it is news. Seahawks are using a top 30 visit on linebacker from UTEP, Tyrese Knight. I haven't looked at Tyrese Knight. I'll figure it out later. But that's a UTEP linebacker in the draft, to be clear. I'll look into him later on. I don't want to do it right now. Right, we're already up to $96 in Super Chat donations. Thank you, everybody, for making that a possibility today. I mean, J-Lem, hopefully Nick Harris doesn't play that much because our starters are healthy and effective. But if he does need to play, I think he'll be okay. He was good last year in Cleveland for 300 plus snaps. What's the point in Artie Burns? Cheap depth. Every team needs that. He's not a bad player. He just doesn't play that much because he's depth. And we've had good corners. Early day 3 prospect? Really? I'm not familiar with that name. Okay. The firehouse in my area just opened. Let me check something here real quick. Ooh. Ooh, I just got it. Guys. Medium meatball for $5 dues. There we go. Would you take Rattler or Milton later rounds? I mean, they're very different players. If you draft Rattler, eventually you're expecting him to start. If you draft Milton, it's a lottery ticket. Order 3 of them? I don't know about all that, but I do not live in Seattle, no. Yeah, I think we're losing. And Artie Burns is going to be a couple million cheaper than Mike Jackson. Now, I do think to a certain extent you get what you pay for, but I can understand why they're trying to trim a couple mil off at that depth position. And they're just obviously going to hope that Woolen holds up, which nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me check the mock draft database here real quick. Tyrese Knight. Okay, currently mock draft database has him in the 7th round. They have had him as high as the 5th round at some points. Actually, they've had him as high as the 4th round, but that was so long ago, I don't even think it matters. But he is regularly ranked as a draftable player pretty late. Thank you, Wingless Phoenix. Appreciate that. We're just trying to keep on growing around here. Commanders sign Jeremy Reeves. Special teamer. Eventually, Carter Jackson. I'll do another Seahawks mock draft. Did our compensatory update and do they show now? I don't think anything's changed other than we lost the pick for Drew Lock, but we're going to get a better one back when Wagner signs. Not much actual cap space left after you factor in draft picks, PS, and IR replacements. It depends on the Lockett restructure and the structure of Leonard and Noah's contracts. I want to see those before I say anything definitive. And we're using a top... You always use top 30 picks on players like that, Jeffrey. Oh, by the way, looks like I missed this. T. Taylor, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, Jeffrey, every team uses a couple top 30 visits on low-drafted guys because they have a particular affinity for them that most other teams don't have, and they want to maybe follow up on that. I'd rather use a top 30 pick on him than a top 30 visit on him than a top 30 visit on like Caleb Williams, who we're not going to be able to draft. Brian Cashman didn't get that much cash, man. He's not undrafted. He's probably going to get drafted. Is Nwosu the best free agent signing we made in the last 5 years? Good question. Maybe, Eugenio. That's probably the best one. Hey, Carmine, I'm doing good. Man, I gotta be honest, guys. That coffee is not having the effect that I was hoping. Today's going to be a tough day to get through. I can already tell. I'm just going to go ahead and admit that now. How'd you feel about Spencer Rattler behind Gino for a year? I'm open to that. Yeah, Dre Holt. But I mean, Spencer Rattler, I'm certainly not sold on him. I'm going to be open-minded about it, you know? I think there are a lot of problems with him. Muck another coffee? I don't know if that's a good idea, man. I don't drink coffee regularly ever. Bilal Nichols, 3 years, $21 million. Feels like Arizona's overpaying everybody. They're getting some players, but they're overpaying everybody. They gave DJ Dallas 3 years. They gave Justin Jones $10 million a year. Take a nap. That's what I would do. I may end up doing that. No, I'm not going to Starbucks. Garbage. Oh, Santiago, we only need 2 quarterbacks. I already ate something, Max. I had cereal. I am probably going to go get Firehouse in maybe like an hour plus. The Harris deal is 2.51. Yeah, but there are incentives that can take it up to 3.25 or 3.26, actually. Let me update that. Yeah, 3.26. So probably he only gets the 2.51. However, for cap purposes, I think we have to count it as 3.26 until he doesn't get it. Okay, Jeremy Reeves was a commander last year, so it's a re-signing. Okay. I've never had Dutch Bros. I have no idea about Dutch Bros. My brother really likes Dutch Bros. I'd be okay with Tyus Bowser, David. He might be like a consolation prize if we don't get Clowney. The 49ers have agreed to a new deal with Kyle Juszczyk. But it's a restructure. It's not he wasn't a free agent. He wasn't going anywhere anyway. So they just redo the contract a little bit to free up a little bit of money. But Kyle Juszczyk remains. Kyle Juszczyk. Best fullback of the last 20 years, probably. Juszczyk. Although, really, that's also another way of saying the only good one. I doubt it, King Zoa. That was a very Pete Carroll thing, having the clues. I don't think that Mike's going to be into that. Genard Avery returning to the Colts on a 1-year deal. Never heard of that guy in my life. So, Genard Avery, Colts. Not familiar, but he returns to the Colts. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is sometime around 11:30. I'm gonna go get lunch, so that way I'm here at 1 when the free agency actually literally opens. I want to be gone at 1 o'clock. Whoa, Whitehead, Whitehead back to the Bucks. Whitehead plans to sign with the Buccaneers. 2-year deal, 10.5. That's pretty good, man. I might have been okay with that. I'll call it 10.5 because that's the max that it can be worth, which is probably how it counts against the cap. But that is pretty reasonable. Chad Hart, thank you for the member message for 14 months. Thanks for the 5 days of the frenzy. I think Jordan Whitehead's totally worth that. Okay, he's up on the news list. And he's also off the tiers list now. I had him in the high-end starters, so he's off. So still out there would be Cameron Curl, Justin Simmons, Julian Blackmon, still Quandre Diggs, Terrell Edmonds, Kevon Wallace, Jordan Fuller. I think the issue with Whitehead is you lose a pick if you sign him. I think we're gonna. I wonder if we're gonna make sure we sign somebody who got cut, like Eddie Jackson, or maybe Justin Simmons, so that way we keep the pick, or maybe we give Ryan Neal vet min, something like that. If the Hawks don't sign a safety, would you be interested in Dijon in the first? I think the only safety I want in the first is Nubin. I do think Dijon may be worth a first round pick, but I also don't know what position he's going to play. Do you think any team actually really wants Bobby Wagner? There are 32 teams. One of them must. I don't know who, though, admittedly, but Atlanta could make some sense. People were talking about that. Concierge with Nolan, thank you for the $10. Here's some lunch money. Thanks for all the hard work. Well, thank you, Nolan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that support very much. That gets us over $100 already. 106. Thank you. Let me update that. And while I'm here, we are 16,893 subs. So, good chance that we actually get to 17,000 before the end of the week, which is not what I expected, but it would be awesome. Why are they so focused on hoarding picks for next year? By all accounts, I've read next year's draft class is allegedly terrible. I mean, it's terrible for quarterbacks. I think it's way too early to conclude that it looks terrible overall. Guys, remember, Bobby Wagner doesn't have an agent. He's his own agent. So I think he can't even communicate with other teams yet. Think about it. You're not allowed to communicate directly with players until 1 a.m. today, until 1 p.m. today. And I think Wagner literally can't do anything until 1. Get lunch delivered. I hate that though. I just canceled Dash Plus. It's so expensive to get stuff delivered. It completely wipes out the savings from the $5 meatball. Like, it'll be so expensive to get a sub delivered that it kind of just makes it so you may as well not even, like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm really trying to cut down on DoorDash and Uber Eats stuff. I almost never do it now. I'm literally like, it would literally take me about 6 or 7 minutes to get to Firehouse. By the way, my friend, and if you guys are on my Twitch streams, you know who I'm talking about because he's the guy that I frequently have on the call with me when I'm on Twitch, is a DoorDash driver, and he talks about this. People are not ordering food anymore, and he will drive around for 2 hours without getting anything because I think people are sick of the cost, and they're just like, we'll go get our own food. So I think everyone else is kind of starting to figure that out as well. Twitter says we have 44 million cap. There's no way we can know how much cap space we have until we get details on the contracts. So I don't know how they're making that determination. If you do pickup, they purposely make it $1 more expensive? That doesn't make any sense. You're picking it up. That's the easiest thing for the restaurant. Are you talking about ordering it through an app like DoorDash? Remember, guys, if we need to, if we really feel like we need to, we can create more cap space. You can still restructure Gino. You can still add void years to DK's deal. There are things you can do. I don't think we will. But if we really need to create more money, we can pretty easily. Isn't the Costco cookie really good, though? I've heard it's good. I've heard the Costco cookie's pretty nice. Myers could restructure, but that barely saves anything. But you could. Dixon could restructure, but you're only saving like 700,000. But yeah, I'm not that worried about the money part of it. If we really want money, we can create it. Yeah, I do, Chuck Richards. I think. I haven't eaten at Costco in a long time. I haven't been to Costco in forever. Yeah, man, that's a nice deal on Jordan Whitehead. I think he's worth that all day. No, Caden J. Jack Black is antithetical to funny. Jack Black is unfunny to the point of nausea. I have no interest in that. Mr. Apakleb, thank you for the $4.99. Great work. What will you'd rather have? Penix in second, assuming trade down, or Milton in fourth, fifth, while addressing other areas with earlier picks? Probably the Milton scenario. I'm not a big believer in Penix. I would be okay with him in the second round, but I have concerns about Penix in the NFL that are not going to go away until I see him actually doing well in the NFL, which is going to take a while. School of Rock is a good movie, but Jack Black is lame now. Trading Gino would probably free up a lot of cap space. Guys, I found the guy who doesn't watch any of my videos. I found the guy who doesn't watch Seahawks Brendan Nelson videos. Because if he did, he would know better. Wait, Clowney got picked up? Oh, wait a minute. I don't see nothing. I'm not seeing anything about Clowney yet. Oh, there we go. Found it. That's pretty good, man. 2 years. 11 million. 2 years, 11 million. It is a multi-year deal. So I don't mind missing out on that so much. But I love Clowney. You guys know. Two years, 11 million. Let's get Bowser now. Clowney Panthers is not official. Yeah, I'm not seeing it officially yet. But it looks like it is going to happen. I'll just rock with it for the moment, and we'll see what happens down the line. Oh, it is fake news? Okay. I'll take it off for now, then. Only a visit. Okay, never mind. Clowney goes back on. Although, again, I'm kind of doubting we get Clowney because we lose the comp pick for him. And it seems like we're really trying to protect that. It's just a visit. Okay. All right, never mind. False alarm on Clowney. Whitehead's the last major signing, I think. Clowney's from Carolina, isn't he? The Snail, thank you for the member message. 17 months. Weird how many of our fans hate our best players. I know what you mean. You know, we're not the only fan base that does this, but it does drive me crazy that we are one of the fan bases that do this. Like, you know, I'll give you an example. The Cowboys fans do the same thing, right? The Dallas Cowboys fans do what we do, right? The Dallas Cowboys fans think Dak is god awful. They hate CD. They hate Micah Parsons. They hate all their best players. People want to trade everybody. People want to cut everybody. So we're not the only fan base that does that stuff. But I don't want to be one of those fan bases. I want to be a fan base that's a little bit more reserved and smart. Like look at the Vikings. When during the time they had Kirk Cousins, did they scream for the backup quarterback every single time Kirk Cousins threw an interception? No. Kronos, thank you for the member message. I legit forget about these messages. Yeah, I do too. I'm not a member on most channels. Like I do admit I wish we had one of the more reserved and educated fan bases. Like, you know, I wish we had fans that were intelligent enough to realize how good Geno Smith is, how good DK Metcalf is, and how valuable these things are. But that's not what we have right now. Again, we're not the only fan base that does it, but there are fan bases that don't do it, and I wish we had one of those. Life would be easier. you think Bobby's coverage concerns were based on his age? Well, he's never going to be a good cover player. He's too old. Like, the scheme is bad, or was bad. Like Dak Prescott almost won MVP last year, and you go to Cowboys message boards, they think he's like a bottom 3 starting quarterback, and they want to cut him and trade him, and they hate him. So again, we are not the only fan base that has idiots that think things that are clearly not true. But I wish we weren't. Titans re-signed Julius Chestnut to a 1-year deal. No idea who that is. Don't know that guy. Do you like Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey's been good. Jim Carrey's been good in his career for sure. I totally forgot Clowney played college football in Carolina. Yeah, Nick, I think we left cap space on the table by not extending Gino. That is something I would have done, but it's not something I ever expected. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nick. But I'm not surprised. We have new coaches. We have new coaches. Who knows if they're going to like what Gino has to offer? Who knows? Rams tender Michael Hoyt, restricted free agent. Do you think Woolen is still a good player? Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got some problems, but nothing that can't be fixed. Heard rumors about Julian Blackman. Yeah, that does make sense. He is a Pac 12 guy, too. Utah. We do like Utah players, even though it rarely works out for us, it feels like. Am I crazy to think Gino is very similar as a passer to Penix, except he offers more mobility? I think Penix probably has a bit of a better arm. Penix has a really nice arm. But it's not far off. mjseahawk, thank you for the $20 super chat. I agree. It's fair to have criticisms of our players, but outright hating something one on our team, I just don't like that. I think DK can get us in trouble with his antics on the field, but there's no questioning his talent. I think most teams have at least one player out there that does things like DK Metcalf that are occasionally frustrating. I do think that every team has players like that, and having players like that is part of the process. Hold on, my phone's getting blown up. All right, Mike Williams hits the market. Not interested. But good, best of luck to him. What's the worst win you've ever seen us have? Probably the NFC title game against the Packers. I mean, we literally did nothing for 3 hours. 131. Hold on, let me update the super chats before I forget. Yeah, there we go. Well, Dave, realistically, I would prefer the fan base be a little smarter than they are rather than having a different fan base. I just want the fan base that we have to be smarter. I call some of them like agents of chaos, you know? I think some Seahawks fans are just agents of chaos. They want everything to burn. The only way I can put it, man. Calvin Ridley expected to re-sign with Jacksonville. Favorite regular season Seahawks game since 2010. Favorite regular season Hawks game since 2010. Probably Thanksgiving against the Niners in 2014, I guess. We traded someone? Hold on. I don't see anything. Some people in the chat are saying the Seahawks just traded someone. I'm pretty sure they haven't. Bengals plan to release Nick Scott, safety, who was on the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. That might be a little bit interesting. I don't know a ton about Nick Scott personally, though. Yeah, I don't think we traded anybody. Yeah, DK's never going to be the perfect Boy Scout that some people want him to be. And either you can live with that or you can't. But me personally, I'm more than happy to live with it. If we were to draft a quarterback in the first round, who would say we would pick? I don't think anybody's going to be there. Maybe Bo Nix. I actually kind of feel like Bo Nix might go to Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota ain't no team needs a quarterback more than Minnesota right now. Artie Burns played decent last year. I wonder if the new staff might consider a move to safety for him. I think it's more likely we move Kobe to safety, but anything's possible, and I'm open to whatever. The Vikings will get McCarthy. You could see that too. Yeah, no trade. I'm pretty sure the trade was just people messing around. Oh boy. My bit rate is crap right now. It's okay. If the bit rate continues to be any kind of a problem, although I don't know if it's a problem for any of the viewers, I will switch to streaming on YouTube only. So everyone be aware that if the stream ends, I'm just going to come right back, but I'm not going to be streaming on Twitter or X or Facebook. I'll just switch to YouTube only. Boy, it's really, really shaky right now. I have no idea if you guys can even see or hear me right now. The bit rate is just has just completely lost its mind. It's even starting to zero out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, we are getting. Oh boy, I think it's. I hope it's restream. Hopefully, it's restream, and I can just switch to YouTube only. So here's what I think I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna go get lunch in a little bit, like a few minutes here. I'm gonna go get lunch. When I get back and end the stream, and when I get back, I'm probably just gonna switch to a new stream, or I guess I'll do it right before I leave. Probably switch the stream over to YouTube only. I don't think I have a choice. The bit rate is way too low for me to be able to continue to stream here. I don't even know if people can hear me right now, but I think we're having big problems on restream right now. So sorry to the people on X and Facebook, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to do restreaming today. People are starting, we can, I can't. Okay. It sounds like it's working for most people, but it's possible that I think, yeah, the bit rate's not even 1500 right now. This is not sustainable. I saw it drop to 0 a second ago. And last time this happened, I switched to YouTube only and everything was totally fine. It's just the video quality is crap. Yeah, I would prefer that not to be the case. Let me get a new stream set up here. I'm hoping that the bitrate suddenly jumps up to like 3K. If the bitrate's 3K, we're fine. But right now it's not even 1800. I think that's probably unsustainable. Sorry, everybody. Restream usually behaves, but sometimes it doesn't. And today's a day where it's not behaving. So yeah, sorry to anybody watching on Facebook or X, but I think I'm going to have to jump over to YouTube only. So people can hear me, but the video's quality sucks, which I would really prefer not being the case. It's not a big deal with standstill image. Oh, I'm sure it's not. Seems like it's doing a little bit better now. So maybe I'll hang with it. But like I'm looking at it in OBS and it's dropping below 1,000 pretty frequently. Like I'm at 500 in OBS, 1,000, 1,100, 1,800, 1,800, 1,000. It's like really, really trying to go to nothing. Yeah, 600. Yeah, see, this is annoying. Okay, so I'm going to go get ready to go to lunch. And I'm going to go ahead and stay on this stream for now. If the stream dies while I'm gone, it's because I lost all my bit rate went to nothing. Okay? And I'll just start a new one, YouTube only, when I get back. If I get back and the bit rate has stabilized at least like 2,500, I'll stay on this one. So everybody stay here for now, and I'll make a decision when I get back on whether or not it's stable enough for me to stay on. So everybody, does that sound good? Did I miss any moves? No. Looks like we're all caught up. McWilliams got released, is the last major thing that happened. Restream causes problems for lots of folks. I mean, I'm paying for it. It really shouldn't be this bad, but I am starting to get annoyed by it. I do not do YouTube full time most of the time, no. All right, everybody. I'll be back either on this stream or a new stream. If this stream goes down, look out for a new one. All right, guys, we are back. Let's see here. The bitrate still isn't great. It is better than before, though. Maybe this is tenable. Right, what did I miss? Okay, it's like 2,500. That's workable. Dane Jackson, Panthers. Not familiar. Ooh, Khalil Mack remaining with the Chargers. Oh, I didn't miss much. Yeah, that's all I missed. Max staying in LA, yeah. So Bosa's probably gone then, right? They probably could only keep one. Apparently, Jerome Baker's like 225 pounds, undersized. I'm a little worried about that. Cam Ward, Miami. The bit rate seems to have somewhat stabilized. It's still not great, but it's good enough for this stream for sure. So I think I'm going to stick it out here, but we'll see. Yeah, Dane Jackson, who I've never heard of before, signed with the Panthers. I did see that. Firehouse. They have the sale right now. There's nowhere else to even consider. Medium meatball sub for $5. When I go there, I normally spend $20. This time I spent like $5.50. And if I really wanted to go ham, I could have gotten two sandwiches. Of course, I didn't, but I could have. And it still would have cost like half what it usually costs to go there. I like Firehouse a lot. I have my own chips and my own drink at home. The only other country I've been to is Canada, GF. No, free agency's in an hour and 10 minutes. I'm worried that something big is going to happen and my bit rate is going to screw me over right at the moment of truth. No, Ethan, I don't think it changes much. The only thing that changes is all the RFAs. Did Lenny Williams do great here if he didn't do a lot? Who says he didn't do a lot? Artie Burns is good depth. That's about the best you can say about him. Caden J, I don't think that's true. And this bitrate thing is driving me crazy. It's dancing up and down constantly. There's no stability. And then every time I think I'm just going to end the stream and come back, it starts kind of normalizing, and I don't want to end it. Well, that's certainly one way to look at things, Kate and Jay. I don't think it's a very good one, but it's a way. That is certainly one of the ways to look at a player. And by that logic, Devin Witherspoon didn't play good because he got here last year and didn't help the defense. It was actually kind of worse in 2023 than 2022. Still nothing. Still nothing going on, man. Never had a barbecue meatball sub. All right, guys. You know what? I'm ending this stream and I'm starting a new one. So everybody, watch for a new stream to go up in a couple minutes and jump over there. Sorry, everybody, but I can't be dealing with this inconsistency right now.